Hello everybody, and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. I thought I'd catch you up on a few little things. After watching a magical tools video with Tarotstache and Longman Tarot, I keep getting that confused. Bearly Balanced Tarot, that's Gerald and Chris. They did a magical tools chalice video, and it inspired me to want to get some chalices. I used to have a lovely crystal one that I could rub the wet rim and play it like a singing bowl, but it shattered. So I thought, well, let me get something sturdier than crystal or glass. And I got to thinking about wood, and I've been relating more to things like wooden wands and being out in the woods and forest. And I looked on Amazon and found a few little things like this little cup made out of wood, which I very much like the design of, and it reminds me a lot of some of the cups I've seen in bushcrafting and camping videos, although I sort of like the design of this one better. So I ordered that. I also like the idea of a ladle or sort of old-fashioned water scoops, which this is perfect for that kind of thing. And I could also use it as a ladle in soups and such, or just to drink out of. Now in the photo, I thought it had a round bottom like a ladle, which sort of disappointed me, but the upside, the upside of that is the bottom is flat. So if I sit it on a surface, I don't have to worry about it tipping over. It's very stable. The third item just came in the mail, and this is actually closer to what we think of as a chalice or goblet sort of shape, which I like very much. My camera is on a little clamp. It's a little too close for you to be able to see this full on in detail, but it's very nicely stained, and I think I'm really gonna enjoy this. If I ever get my altar shelf cleared off again, this will be displayed there prominently. Okay, on to the spreads. Now, I don't generally do anything above a 3-card spread, sometimes a 5-card spread, just in an open reading. I tend not to do complicated spreads, but recently I've been inspired or intuitively directed to do something I'm calling the inverse pyramid spread, which is you lay out anywhere from 2 to 5. You could go as many cards as you want across, and then in rows down underneath, you fill in the gaps between each card with another card that sort of refines or defines the relationship between the two cards above. And I really like the way this is working out. Now, I went to one of my favorite cafes today for some peace and quiet and to get out of the solitary darkness of my apartment. And when I got there, I was a little disturbed by the behavior of other patrons who weren't following the rules prescribed by either the establishment or the city and state. And it bothered me so much I decided to do a spread on it and see what I had to say. So I laid out for my first row these 5 cards. Looks like they will just fit on my screen. And I noted in my journal. So what it says is, I know the new restaurant laws, so it was irking me that folks were bypassing check-in policy by slipping in through the back door of the cafe I came to for peace and refuge. Why was I letting this upset me? Row 1, we have the Moon, the World, 7 of Cups, Emperor, and 5 of Swords. I was stepping out into the world from my place in the shadows. I had lots of choices available to me, both in activity as well as cafe food. There were also an array of emotional choices for my psyche to sort through. The Emperor in me was very particular about the way people should behave. The 5 of Swords told me people weren't playing fair. They weren't playing by the rules. Next, you fill in the gap. So row number 2. Row number 2, we have 2 of Swords, the Magician, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. So, I had a decision to make regarding my actions. I had all the power and tools at my commands to control how I dealt with it. I need to consider a choice that would allow me to coexist in a world with others where actions, regardless of how I might feel, because the wheel spins and what goes around comes around. People might not always approve of my actions or decisions. Sorry, I'm stumbling a bit over reading and trying to explain this. So here I have a decision between being out in the world and being alone in my dark, solitary world. I have the tools to maneuver between the world and my choices. I have to arrive at a choice that's compatible with other people, pull from my choices, and not stick so tightly to the Emperor choices. The wheel goes around and comes around. It may feel like people aren't playing fair. I may be too strict in my guidelines, so I need to kind of play with that. Next row, row number 3, I have the Knight of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. I needed to arrive at a position that delivered a sense of grounding. I was perhaps too focused on my own feelings to consider those of others. I needed to take all feelings into account in order to coexist more into one big happy family. So I needed to bring a sense of grounding through my choices and my skills. I needed to consider the feelings of others other than just myself between what I was doing and trying to get along with others. In order to make one big happy family, I need to take into account that sometimes I'm going to be on the other side of that wheel and people aren't going to be that happy with my actions. So I need to do all that. Row number, oh, I think I skipped a row. Sorry. The next row, row number 4, is the Page of Cups and Temperance. We're not always dealt what we hope for or expect, but we need to learn to take it all in stride, the good with the bad, while keeping our tempers. So, I guess I'm not really explaining this spread very well, but I think you get the idea that I'm trying to like bridge these gaps with each new row of cards and build a relationship between the cards. So in this row, I'm given something I'm maybe not planning on, the behavior of others. It's bringing up certain feelings in me, maybe not ones I'd hoped for, but I need to sort of temper my feelings and hold my temper with regard to how I'm feeling about this. And the tempering of it will take my mind off of the struggle between my feelings and others into more of a happy family of the both. Also here, I need to sort of find a way to bring grounding between myself and others in terms of those feelings. The last row, the Eight of Cups. If we can't master control over our emotions, then perhaps we need to give ourselves a temporary time out in lieu of reflecting everything and going it alone. That can be a very lonely prospect. So, I need to work out how to deal with these feelings. If I can't work it out, then I need to walk away, give myself a time out. Don't let my temper get the better of me. And it needs to be a temporary timeout. If I don't feel like I can handle a temporary one, then I need to walk away for good. And that's never a great choice as far as this goes. It means a solitary life where I never interact with anybody else or figure out a way to get along with them. So sorry if I kind of muddled through this, but I just thought I would introduce the idea of this sort of spread to you. Again, I'm calling it the inverse pyramid. And this was a little bit unwieldy, this 5-card one. I often do a 3-card one, which you can see would be considerably less to deal with, less cards. There you've only got 6 cards. So, you know, maybe I went a little overboard this time in trying this out with a larger group of cards. I think it was 15 cards, which is more, I believe, than even you have in a Celtic cross. But try this out. Give this a try, this inverse pyramid spread, and see how it works for you. See what you think, and let me know. Thanks for bearing with me as I muddle through this, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.